At some point today, you're going to walk into a noisy room. Voices, music, laughter, all of it pressing against you at once, like a wall you can't see. And somewhere inside that wall of sound, you will hear your name. By the end of this, you'll never walk into a noisy room the same way again. Your name is not just a word. To everyone else on the planet, it's a random combination of syllables. 2 or 3 sounds pushed together and forgotten the moment they leave someone's mouth. But to your brain, it is the single most important sound in the observable universe. More important than a siren. More important than someone shouting danger. More important, even, than your own face in a mirror. Why? Because your brain learned your name before it learned almost anything else. Before you understood what a chair was, before you knew what love meant, before you could form a single sentence, your brain was already training itself to detect that one specific arrangement of sounds and respond to it immediately. The moment a caregiver said your name and looked at you over and over again in the first weeks and months of your life, your brain began carving a dedicated neural pathway just for that sound. That pathway never goes away. It deepens, it gets faster, it gets quieter and more automatic. And by the time you're an adult, your brain no longer processes your name in the way it processes other words. It processes it the way it processes threats, the way it processes physical pain, the way it processes something that demands your attention right now, before your conscious mind even gets the memo. Neuroscientists call this the cocktail party effect. Picture a room, noise everywhere, dozens of conversations bleeding into each other. Your conscious mind can only track one of them, the one you're actively in. But underneath that, your brain is quietly monitoring every single voice in the room, every conversation, all of them, being passively processed at a level just below your awareness, like a scanner that never turns off. And the moment any one of those conversations contains your name, your brain fires an alert and drags your attention straight toward it. You didn't choose to hear it. You couldn't have stopped yourself if you tried. Your brain made that decision before you even knew it was listening. Early research into auditory attention, including foundational work on selective hearing, that people could detect their own name even when it was whispered into the ear they were actively told to ignore. The ear they had been instructed to tune out completely. Their names still got through. Think about that. Your brain has a filter built to block out noise, and your name bypasses it completely. But here's where it gets genuinely strange. What about the times you hear your name, and no one said it at all? It happens to almost everyone. You're in a crowd, you're half asleep, you're in the shower with water running and no one else nearby, and you hear it. Clear, specific, unmistakable, your name. You stop, you look, you wait. Nothing, no one. Silence. Your brain invented it. Not because something is broken, not because you're losing your mind, because your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And sometimes it overcorrects. Your brain is not a recording device. It is a prediction machine. Every second you are awake, it is building a model of what is about to happen next, based entirely on patterns it has encountered before. When you're in a noisy environment, your brain isn't just passively receiving sound. It is filling in gaps, guessing, completing fragments of patterns before they finish arriving. And because your name is the highest priority that auditory signal your brain has ever been trained to detect, it does not wait for certainty before acting. It detects pieces, half a syllable, a vowel shape that sounds close, a rhythm that could almost be the opening of your name, and it jumps. It fires the alert before confirming the signal is even real. In signal detection theory, this is called a false positive. And your brain produces them on purpose. In an ancient environment where survival depended on information, missing your name could mean missing a warning, missing help, missing something that kept you alive. So your brain evolved to be trigger happy, to fire early, to occasionally be wrong, because the cost of a false alarm's embarrassment, and the cost of missing the real signal is everything. You're not imagining things. You're over-detecting. There is a difference, and it goes even deeper than sound. Studies using the EEG brain scanning, Verify, have recorded measurable neural responses to a person's own name in patients under general anesthesia. People who were, by every clinical standard, unconscious. People in medically induced comas have shown the same response. Other words passed through without a flicker. Their name produced a response. Your name reaches places your conscious mind cannot go. Now stop and consider what this means for every other person around you. Every human being walking through a crowded room is running the same system. Every person at a party, in a school hallway, on a busy street. They are all quietly, automatically, unconsciously scanning the noise around them for one sound above all others. Not a warning signal, not a loud noise. Their name, a sound assigned to them before they could speak, burned into their neural architecture before they had any say in the matter, guarded ever since by a brain that treats it as the most personally relevant thing it will ever hear. Your identity is encoded in your auditory system. And that encoding is so deep and so old and so automatic that it operates completely outside your control. You cannot turn it off. You cannot train yourself out of it. You can fill a room with competing sound, and your brain will still be running the scan, silent, patient, waiting. And the next time it detects the pattern, real or invented, it will not ask for your permission before it acts. It will pull your attention before you even realize your head is turned. That is not a glitch. That is not a quirk left over from childhood. That is a feature, a survival feature so deeply embedded in the architecture of human attention that it persists through sleep, through sedation, through unconsciousness itself. The next time you walk into a noisy room and your name cuts through everything, turn around or don't. It might be real. It might be a ghost your brain invented from noise and expectation and an ancient reflex. Either way, one thing is certain, something in you is listening the whole time. It always was.